Hello, hello, and welcome to the weekday cast of a live match, Zerodoom versus jd105l. I'm one of your casters, Opie Wrights, and here with me is Renmilia.
Hello and good evening to everyone. We should have
And
a very interesting match coming up for you in the 0-1 bracket of the Tournament of Position here.
our host today is Aberar, tag team silent host, so you won't hear a hi from him, but he is there in the back, driving the stream forward, sending it to you. We're just about to get into the draft here. Let me just copy that real fast because they just sent us the draft code in the lobby.
Yep, draft about to go down.
All right,
we have Zerodoom representing the Copper Boys, a group of players who had a lot of fun in their matches during the regular season, unfortunately got upset by the Iron Friends, and JD coming in from the Obsidian division.
Don't Obsidian have their own, name? Copper Boys, Iron Friends.
I'm used to Obsidian Nightmare, the Doom level, but Obsidian Nightmare is perhaps not the most positive name, but he's certainly hoping to be a nightmare for Zerodoom in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Zerodoom coming in as a slight, kind of thought that his nerves position. JD only second seed in Obsidian behind Ascend Beyond, who I believe also fell to the to the iron rather. Yes.
Both irons fell to both coppers.
Yes, both irons fell to both coppers.
The Obsidians.
Or no, yeah.
Obsidian faced
okay.
bronze.
Anyways, yes. So this is their 0-1 bracket. Unfortunately, losing in the first round means that Zerodoom cannot make it any higher than not copper, but bronze. Bronze is the best you can place with a first round loss. If you go the rest of your tournament position record, going 3 more wins after that, you will be placed into bronze. So Zerodoom can still advance in the postseason here, but can't advance much. It has no margin for error anymore.
Yeah, neither of these players do. JD, coming from Obsidian, will get an automatic one division promotion for beating anybody in a higher division at any point during the tournament of position. But as there are a lot of drops usually between seasons, a one division from promotion from Obsidian not likely to mean a whole lot.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate in terms of how the drop. Both of them still fighting here for this spot in bronze, this coveted promotion to, what this season was a very, very strong, lot of power in the top 4 or 5 players. We saw Shep, the first place in bronze, take an auto promote, and the other two have been doing okay so far, I believe. And do we have the draft, by the way? It's happening, yeah.
We do indeed.
The
The draft has started up. They're taking their time on a few of these picks here. Zerodoom has started off by banning Balcony, and jd105l has banned Aquarium, followed by a library pick from Zerodoom.
JD's picking Terrace, which is interesting. Library and even Courtyard, this pick from Zerodoom that just popped up. Very, very kind of known. There's not a lot of variance, especially with the Courtyard pick. You just, it's a lot of very skill based. Just fighting for control. JD picking Terrace, a 3 or 5 venue that only is popular in like 2 divisions. And
Challenger and Iron in particular both played over 70 games on Terrace during the regular season, whereas other divisions, I think there wasn't a single other division that played more than 20 games, most less than 10, almost
yeah,
no.
I know Gold only played 4 of them because I was involved. But JD picking Tayen, another kind of swingy venue, definitely seems to see himself as the underdog coming into this match. Because as the underdog, if you don't think you can just completely win based on your overwhelming skill, then I think that if the correct draft would be really just, okay, I'm going to pick something that I think I can go 2-0 or 4-0 on, maybe if things shake out that way, and
Yeah.
run from there.
Yeah, we're looking for high variance maps. We're looking for 3 out of 5s, and we see the final pick of High Rise coming in. So summing up the picks here, JD picking Terrace doubled, and then Tayen, and then High Rise. Definitely a lot of more spy favored Softel heavy maps, whereas Zerodoom picking hard on the opposite side with Library, Courtyard, and Modern, all very sniper party.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially the Courtyard. Those picks tell me that Zerodoom absolutely locked down on Sniper and just say, I dare you to match me on that, because Courtyard and Modern are both very traditionally sniper favored venues, and Zerodoom probably going to look to just lock that down, keep that. Even in a draw, Zerodoom will win. So Zerodoom is saying, hey, I bet you can't get a spy one off of me that I can't answer in my picks. And of course, JD going the opposite route with the variants.
That is correct. Because Zerodoom is the higher seed in this matchup, he essentially has a 1 game advantage. Zerodoom needs 8 to take the match. JD needs 9 wins to take it and proceed on.
Yeah.
We're getting our first game fired up on Library here.
Yeah, it should just start playing immediately. My settings are on autoplay.
Yep, autoplay is on. They're just taking a few moments to get ready and synchronize here.
Yep.
I'm actually a little surprised that JD didn't ban Library. I was chatting with him a little bit last night, and JD told me he really does not like Library, is not comfortable on it at all, but did not expect it as a pick out of Zerodoom necessarily.
Yeah, the Aquarium ban seemed to be of something that JD wanted to avoid. Aquarium can be a very difficult, even though it's a venue that has a lot of occlusion. There's also just a lot to watch. It is one of 2 venues, the other being Veranda, where you've got 4 sets of 2 statues that AIs can go to. There's just a lot of things that are happening at any given moment on Aquarium, and then there's the shark. So JD apparently not comfortable on that at all. So that's the ban instead, and Zerodoom takes advantage of Library being opened and picks it for the double.
Yeah, very astute picks out of Zerodoom. JD prepared very heavily for this match, watched over 70 replays of Zerodoom over the last few days, he told me. But here's the game kicking off.
Yeah, we got Zerodoom on teal to begin with JD as sniper. Remember, he's pick which order the maps were picked in and which order spy and sniper happened in. So this is Zerodoom's choice to be spying first, which is an interesting one, because very often it seems like the kind of natural pick would be to pick sniper first, since you have that sniper bias advantage.
So it looks like we've started off going over towards the seduction target. Not a lot of reason to be over on this side of the venue otherwise, unless we're going to statues. And indeed, we're going to be chasing her all the way across to the
Yeah,
other
but you can't
side
get
of
a
the
flirt
library.
here. So Zerodoom just going to pick up the fingerprint instead.
Good camera usage from Zerodoom. You have to be aware of where the ambassador is at all times. And of course, since the changes to book fingerprints in the latest build, you have to be faster on getting these prints on the bookshelves.
Yes, that new change, by the way, we've referenced it a couple times during cast. An AI putting a book back now will continue to smudge a print. So an AI could go pick up a book, put it back, and then that print is gone forever. Under the old system, putting it back would not smudge, and there would still be a difficult print there. but that has since been changed due to a bug fix, I believe, from the developer checker. We step into next to a kind of an suspicious spot next to the ambassador. Correctly, JD is keeping the camera near us, so we can't take the bug. But there's a little bit, how long is JD willing to stare at that bug? If we stand here, here's the bug. Is it seen? There was a lean. No shot coming off, and
A
perhaps
little
not
bit
even
of
a
a lean
highlight.
visible, not that much.
Yeah, not even a highlight for Zerodoom, and he seems to get that bug clean despite how much it's being watched.
Yeah, even with a laser right on us, there's just so much cover there with the pillar and the positioning of the people standing next to us in conversation. I think this bug is clean. I think we're just watching it and we've gotten away with it.
Interesting that we requested Toby to come over to us in this. We did reject earlier, but it didn't seem to serve any purpose except to give the sniper another way to catch you out. But
Maybe was thinking to just get Toby into the area. Maybe Toby offers to the ambassador, and then you can take the second fingerprint on a drink. Unfortunately, I don't think the ambassador can actually be served back there, so we've just abandoned that plan and gone for some more flirting instead.
yeah, not enough room behind the ambassador. That does stop Toby from being able to offer. We do another request. Toby does a heel turn, and here's that green purloin finally after all the other two innocent rejects.
There we go. Fantastic to hit that green test as the laser was on us. Now Toby's going to be walking
Oh,
quite a ways
Toby is
away
just
again.
yeah. Toby is going on an adventure, and even another reject by an
Another
AI. So
reject.
there's really good odds that Zerodoom is just gonna get away with this. Do we? I don't even know if JD knows that this book is yellow. I'm not sure we were seen there.
Banana bread.
Here comes a contact as the list
Contact.
disappears.
And book to blue? Ah, not
No,
quite.
book goes back to the back window. Could put this book back badly for the. Oh my God, we get low lit.
Oh! Oh dear, that's a little bit of a speculative low light.
That was
JD maybe feeling a little behind.
yeah, that was really nice by Zero. Contact and splits immediately as the list is being taken as JD. And now we're a low light, putting a book back with 7 seconds left to go, and there's no way there's a shot coming off from JD. I think Zerodoom has got this first game in the bag.
Super clean. 1-0 to Zerodoom, a commanding spy win on Library to start the series off here. JD is going to have to gather his confidence and try and make a comeback in our next game.
Yeah. All right. So JD going on sniper in the next game, going to actually Zerodoom going on the sniper in the next game, trying to answer back another sniper win to create a lead here. And we will be hopping into that in just a moment. And as we wait for this next game to sync, we are looking to see Zerodoom lock down that sniper side as Library. Sniper does tend to be favored, but spies can get wins by. It's not so complete that that spies can't do anything. So we're gonna see if JD can bring it back here.
It was me who was in the wrong room. Well, looks like we're going to start off with a green
time
at the front window.
Unfortunately, it's aborted. We do not actually get the time ad, which means that we just did a hard tell in the time of chaos and got no benefit out of it. Luckily, I don't think anything happened. Zerodoom did not notice anything with that, and we're not a suspect.
I mean, since the time ad was aborted, it's not a hard tell anymore. No time was added. All we would have seen as a tell is cutting off the watch check animation by leaving.
And that is a hard tell unless you've been red flirted, I believe. So it's still one of those things.
True.
Regardless, we still have no progress, and it's nearly a minute in. And yes, there's also a B for canceling timeout.
Oh, there is a beep for canceling time ad.
Yes.
Well, there's some game knowledge for you. I didn't know that. I don't abort that many watch checks.
Yeah, it's not something you really want to do, generally speaking. If you're trying to time ad, you kind of want to go with it and get. But unfortunate mistake there from JD, leaving a little bit too early now, going into. If
So
Zerodoom goes over there, we are kind of, not being seen at the statues quite yet. We could get fingerprints and 2 statue inspects, not the full inspects, but we're not actually seen at the statues. A really,
yeah,
really
no
unfortunate,
highlight.
really, really unfortunate movement from Zerodoom. They're not checking it on the other side. There was a lot of activity. JD could have gotten away with a really quick swap there, honestly.
Yeah, we could have gotten away with the third cycle, probably the third inspect, maybe even a swap. JD picking up a lot of mission progress to make up for the slow start. Could have gone for even more. Here's the ambassador standing next to us now, and also the double agent. I'd expect a contact coming off pretty soon. Oh, it's going to be a Purloin instead. White test, followed by a leave. Takes the highlight for it, but Zerodoom not 100% sure. Not going to shoot immediately.
Yeah, not quite there. Not sure about it, but it is a big tell. So we are now a big highlight despite being able to get those statues earlier, despite being able to get that fingerprint earlier. However, if Zerodoom is not sure, getting that 1 extra fingerprint and that 1 extra statue visit on the side is going to be very, very strong because Zerodoom will not credit those missions.
Yeah, absolutely. The fingerprint progress, especially, is huge. Who's going to credit you for just 1 fingerprint and 1 inspect, even if you are a big suspect for the Purloin? That is a sip break, though, and that was a little bit on camera. And a gulp,
Yeah, it was
actually, as
also
well.
a gulp. We're kind of being stared at here. The ambassador walked up next to us, so here's the bug, and it's completely on screen. Unfortunately, the ambassador left us right as we attempted the bug and left our arm completely visible. You gotta be
Probably
paying
tried to
attention.
time it.
Yeah, you gotta be paying attention to that ambassador leave timer. There is a timer in the top left on the spy's screen when the ambassador is kind of being crowded, and they will leave after it depletes. So an unfortunate timing there from JD makes us our score 2-0 Zerodoom.
2-0 Zerodoom, indeed. I have to think with the sniper movement at the end there, we just saw the laser twitch away and hit the right click for bug instinctively and just didn't wind up panning out either on the ambassador movement or on the sniper laser coming back. A little bit of desynchronization there.
Yeah, unfortunate. The bug didn't even take, which is just rude from Zerodoom. Yeah, who shoots for bugs that don't take? Come on. Speaking of bugs, Zerodoom on General for this next game, starting near the Ambassador. General has an infamous walking bug, very, very hard to see, especially in Chaos, so we might be going for it, but the Ambassador is kind of behind us, and we are not that slow. So the Ambassador stops at a window, and we do not get any kind of Chaos bug going. However, we still could be looking for bugs later in the game. First, we're going to stop off at windows, though.
So the question here is, what does JD have to do to recover his nerves in this match? He did mention that Zerodoom has some very strong character preferences. This is definitely a picked general, not a random general. So that might be a thing that JD is looking out for if General walks past the ambassador a few times, so to say. He did walk
Yes.
past once there.
And the issue, unfortunately, with trying to incorporate character picks and counterplay like that is if they are not used to playing as the sniper and trying to counterpick and playing into that information, it can be difficult to integrate into your normal sniper play, and you might miss things that you might not otherwise. So JD, if they're trying to use this information, is definitely going to be trying to see that, and oh my goodness, the same thing as last game
Thing.
just happened, and this time Zerodoom gets away with all 3 of the inspects.
Speaking of things that aren't being noticed on the sniper side, a full set of 3 inspects out of General, never on camera at all. JD has no idea that General has even been to the statues.
An
Might
immediate,
see this hook yank, though.
yeah, that was a little bit of a yank. That is something that the AI can technically do, but it is quite rare. So it can be highlight for if you're the kind of sniper to do that. Doesn't seem like we've gotten any suspicion for it though.
And there's a green test to finish off our seduction with 100%. That's a nice little bit of progress. We've got 2 missions done, half a fingerprint, and a blue book in hand with about 230 left to play. And stepping into the double agent now.
Yeah, we could take this contact. Zerodoom's looking around, thinking, do I want to take this? There's a lot of people outside of conversation. It would have let off quite a few lowlights, but he is going to take the contact.
Banana bread.
Everyone on the right side basically is about to be low lit. So, what is Zerodoom going to do
Formerly
with
a
this
highlight
opening?
standing alone in conversation. Looks like we are just going to chill here in the center conversation, not try to split, not try to do anything fancy. Ambassador's going to walk past us again.
And that
No
wasn't a
hook.
bug path,
Once
even
more.
though we do kind of go near the Ambassador, just because there's no way that lands. Zerodoom off screen again on the right side. There's been a lot of time spent on the right side, on the left side from JD this game, but he's not. He's doing it nice. He's putting it back nice. You could have just run away and just put that back and then run away, but Zerodoom puts it back nice and doesn't seem to have been punished for it. Here comes the last fingerprint off this briefcase, looks like, and we're not. Oh wait, this does this
This
briefcase?
briefcase, I
It does
think, is
not.
clean though. There's no print here.
Yeah, that means that there's one fingerprint on that right statue over that Zerodoom might just rush towards.
Does look like that's where we're headed. Do we know it?
Yeah, the question is, at this point, JD has missed enough that there's no way we shoot on mission count, but a shot could come off based on the print chasing that General is doing. Doesn't seem that that's going to be
Just
the
a
case.
highlight,
3
though.
seconds, and
Definitely
no shot
not a
comes
shot.
off. Yeah, no shot comes off. Zerodoom, going up 3-0 on his own venue pick, showing exactly why he picked this venue.
Turns out we did not even need to bug. The general pick just gives us the cover to do microfilm and statues and fingerprints instead. What a play. So Zerodoom looking very, very advantaged now, up 3-0 and only needs 8 to take the set. JD really is going to have to rope in his nerves and find some way of staging a miraculous comeback here. Really needs to find some tech on the spy side. Opie, do you think a slow play here is better, or would you do a rush in this situation?
So it really depends on what you're comfortable with as a spy. Normally, I think that when you're going down 3-0 like this, depending on the person, it might just be a little bit, it shakes you up. You're like, this is really bad. I want to get something back. And JD as a player, if they're comfortable with rushing, then that might be the case. However, there is a merit to forcing the sniper to play a long game, to wear them out over time. You go and you force them to mission count. You don't do a hard tell in their face and hope they miss it, because if they see it, their sniper game is over and they don't have to focus that hard anymore. Could have had a bug there, but it would have been right on screen. JD wisely not taking it.
Yes, indeed. Looks like JD is opting to take it slow himself here. Let the AI take control all the way over to this conversation. Mind controls the seduction target over for a 17% flirt. Not a huge amount of progress, but every little bit helps.
Yeah, and compared to not getting any flirt at all, that's JD will take that. Unfortunately, it's literally the worst flirt in the game, but it's a flirt nonetheless. JD going over to
17% better
statues
than
now.
0. Side statues here. Not a lot of action on this side of the venue.
Are we going to
Probably
see the
not
same
a lot
thing?
of sniper lasers.
Okay, we're not.
Oh, red swap, red swap, red swap.
And this might not be what you want as JD. Just a random, red or slash white in their face. Zerodoom's looking at that swap. He does a little bit of a double take, looking, hey, is that a swap? Question mark. And
we're seeing the Looney Tunes, but we're not sure about it.
Yeah, looks like Zerodoom's not quite sure. Maybe he's doubting himself on the memorization of this swap. We don't see any lowlights coming off yet, so there's no lowlights.
Not just a no lowlight,
no.
but a highlight came off on Duke after the swap, so it looks like Zerodoom really not sure about that. Unfortunately, the banana bread does knock out Duke along with a lot of other.
Yeah, white purloin just gets a shot. Unfortunately, JD trying to do some brazen hard tells to get a win off of Zerodoom, but Zerodoom is just not having it. A little bit too disciplined to let that through. and Zerodoom sweeps library.
We went for the rush option, and it turned out to be the incorrect choice. Zerodoom onto the swap, onto the Purloin. Now JD has Terrace coming up, the last refuge of the lower divisions. Definitely thinks that he's the underdog, thinks that the higher divisions don't bother practicing Terrace as much, and it is a very, very unique venue. So JD is looking to sweep Terrace to make a comeback in the set now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Terrace is not exactly the best 3 of 5 venue to do it. It's one of the venues that is much more easily controlled by a camping, sniper. There's less variance than the other ones, especially when you turn off inspect completely. And just because it's much harder for AIs to complete. You basically only have fingerprints available to you, or if you want to turn on inspects, you no longer have bug or purloin, which can be very good as framing targets. However, Terrace can be more swingy than obviously library. So it's still a 3 of 5.
Yeah.
It's not the best 3 of 5 for the purposes, I would say, but it is still a 3 of 5, and JD really, really needs it to work its magic right now.
Well, Zerodoom actually going to be the one spying first here. We do have the standard mission selection with statues just off completely, so we're only here to get our starting flirt off. White test for 34%. A
Yeah,
lot of
and
play on Terrace comes down to managing the fingerprints, the bar, and the bug angles on both sides here.
we do a little bit of a bug path, but we don't take the bug correctly, because otherwise, I think that was going to be very, very obvious on JD's screen was holding the correct angle for it. So no bug suspicion there. We don't see a highlight picked up at all. Interestingly enough, we see JD doing some low lights for certain idly things, like our ST goes statue to statue, and
That was
the
such a quick leave. I think we're faking being delegated to here.
yes, we
I
were
think
next
would
to
not be
our
surprised.
twin. Here comes the
Yes,
purloin. It
just
does
picked
go
it up.
off. We do get
It's
the
a
fingerprint off of
fingerprint
it too.
as well.
And now we know where the double agent is, so we can take a fake, but our twin leaves. We don't want to do that. Now that
Banana
has
bread.
this even been seen? I don't think this has been seen. There haven't been those low lights yet. And
No.
look at this. Here comes we didn't get highlight for bar, and our twin is just about got low lit, or rather neutral lit for not delegating, even though they delegated to us. This could be really, really big for Zerodoom if this list is not seen immediately, just
I
right now.
am not sure that the list has been seen at all. Something that some of these newer players don't know about, I didn't actually know about it until a few months of playing the game, is that you can physically see the list in Toby's vest pocket on bar maps. I can't believe how long it took me to learn that that was a thing. I thought for the longest time that you actually have to see somebody else go to the bar to check whether or not the purloin has come off.
Yeah, and there's the perhaps premature shot on Twin. Did not have the real contact, but it's just so tempting after you see that list gone and think, huh, this Twin has been kind of suspicious. And unfortunately, for JD, there's Zerodoom taking another win. This is a monstrous lead.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dire at this point. Not a lot of people in SCL have come back from being down 5-0, but it's not impossible. It has happened. JD has to work some magic on the spy side here. The
Yeah,
purloin, the
JD.
fingerprints, the bug again.
Yeah, for sure. JD absolutely needs a lot of games here. You can't just win one side. You have to win both sides a lot. And even if you end up going 3-1 on Terrace here, you're still behind, and that's so rough. Even if you end up sweeping the rest of your own venue pick, you're still a game behind at 5-3. So JD needs a lot, needs a very, very strong performance, and kind of needs to reset momentum. Momentum is a very underrated part of how these matches tend to go. Someone's down, you can feel pretty bad about it.
Yeah, mentality a huge factor here. You can't let that get to you. You can't go in thinking, oh, I'm the underdog, I'm down 0-5, this is just over, I'm going to try some YOLO stunt plays at this point. No, you have to gather it back together, loosen up and think, okay, that's fine. We're just playing a casual, friendly set. I'm going to show off some interesting tech and play a nice, tight game on Terrace here.
Yeah, and really, I think where the momentum thing comes in is on sniper side, especially as that worry comes in, like, oh, I'm down. What do I do? How do I get this back? You're not focusing entirely on the game. And I think that we saw that, right just in that last game, that the list was not seen for so long. Zerodoom was not
Banana bread.
even seen taking the list and was never a suspect because of it. So JD kind of thrown off Zerodoom almost doing a highlight for real contact and then deciding against it.
Almost, but not quite. Instead, we took some early highlights for flirt pairings. Actually, General and Teal were kind of standing inside each other at the beginning and both got highlight.
This would
So
be
I
a
think
good
General is probably
fake.
top suspect at this point.
Yeah, this would also be a good fake because then it would give pretty much everyone who's not a low light contact. Unfortunately, the fake gets much worse after you have a couple people leave. So nothing there. We just need that one more mission from JD. We need to find how are we gonna get that. Or are we going to try to get someone else shot? That is the big question on Terrace. How do you finish those missions? And it's much more difficult than some other of the 305 menus.
Ooh, a little bit of a 360 out of our ambassador Taft there. Some interesting pathing on a lot of AIs occurring due to the briefcase being set down right in the middle of the venue for a long time there. If JD wants to go for fingerprints, there's one available at this Falcon statue right next to us.
Ooh,
He
but
might be
the
taking
someone
that
who
or
was
what?
just at bar just came right next to us. This is a perfect opportunity to get delegate to just delegate frame plane twin right now. They were just at bar. They're a highlight for whatever reason, but maybe we don't know that. But this is such a good opportunity because we take the list. Zerodoom has 10 seconds to decide who he wants to shoot, and here it comes. JD taking advantage of this opportunity that Twin has given him. And here comes.
And it
Does
has to be
Zerodoom
this
take
Purloin.
the shot onto JD or onto the twin? And
On
it's
the
the wrong
twin!
shot. JD is now on the board.
JD on the board. Huge, huge, huge momentum swing. This is the sort of thing that JD was hoping for with this Terrace pick. It's even the same play that Zerodoom just tried to do to him.
Yeah,
So
and
once
this
again,
one
the
worked much better. Highlight had just taken the drink. It was very obvious who they were sitting next to. Zerodoom was on top of it, but on top of it does not always mean the correct shot. And now we're gonna go on to the second half of Terrace and see, can JD bring this back to a kind of close margin. And remember, even a close margin is pretty far down. JD would need to win two unanswered games essentially from off of Zerodoom to get back from 5-3, and we're at 5-1 right now. So we're looking at three unanswered wins from
yeah,
JD necessary.
usually when you're down in a set, it's more about oh,
Bug
never
from
mind that.
Zerodoom.
We
It
got
was
a
so
bug.
nice. It was so nice.
Just
There was some cover by an AI that was walking past the line of sight. Teal's lean has actually been proving to be very, very nice so far in this set, as we remember Zerodoom's bug on Library as the same character. And now, with that briefcase, Zerodoom could just kind of finish without contacting ever.
yeah, with bug and fingerprint in pocket, we've gotten away with the bug clean. Zerodoom has to know that. So it's going to be up to JD to really be watching these other tells here. Can JD shoot somebody for two fingerprints and some obvious flirting?
And will that floating even be obvious? We're just gonna timer flirt if we can here from Zerodoom. There's over 2 minutes left in this game. There's so much time. There's no way that Zerodoom can't finish here. I feel like, we're
Oh,
doing
no.
contact
Banana bread.
instead.
Banana bread.
So we are going to go for the more orthodox route after getting this bug. We're not going to try to pick up the double fingerprints, and instead we're just going to flirt and contact it out, which I don't think we're going to ever get shot for. One more flirt could do it for Zerodoom, and I don't think there's any way.
It's the
Zerodoom
highlights coming
kind
out of
of
JD.
going. Is he going for fingerprints on the statue?
Yes,
I
there
can't.
is a fingerprint
I
here.
cannot.
This is the win.
There's no way that Zerodoom should ever be doing this, just because you almost assume flirt on Terrace, and despite not being shot here, Zerodoom risks it very heavily when you could have just played out the rest of the game.
Over a
Silent
minute
or
30.
with just flirts, and not ever really have had a possibility of being shot. So an unusual finish by Zerodoom, but it's not punished by JD, and JD slips even further behind.
Yeah, Zerodoom definitely feeling confident, shall we say. I think just doing all the missions there was really no need for that banana bread. There was no need for that fingerprint finish, but we did it anyway. And with over a minute 30 left, such a hard shot to take as well. JD has to tighten it up not only on the spy side, but also on the sniper side. Can't be missing bugs like that on your own pick of Terrace. The bug
And
angles on Terrace, very deceptive.
yeah, and even when you do miss that bug, you take that opportunity that Zerodoom has just given you in presenting someone who is literally finishing in terms of like not having bug. You assume they're flirt usually, just because two greens can get you there really really quick, and then
We
you
did
see them
have
contact with only two reels, and then they go for the second fingerprint. That's a shot in almost all scenarios. But JD unfortunately not on top of the fingerprints, it seemed, and Zerodoom just taking advantage of it.
Looked like JD's head was still just on the banana bread there. It was down to 3 real suspects from that. The highlights were coming off, but the game was already over because we weren't on the fingerprints right afterwards.
Yeah, and I will point out that Zerodoom only needs 2 wins at this point, and there are a lot of really good venues where Zerodoom can We have Courtyard and Modern coming up.
Yeah.
If Zerodoom gets nothing else, there's almost certainly going to get at least one of those on sniper side.
Modern, especially the most unbalanced map in terms of spy versus sniper, about 66% sniper favored in SCL. It can be almost impossible to get a spy win through on Modern, especially at this level of competition.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
we may not even get there. We've got a ways to go before that's even a factor.
Yeah, like even if Zerodoom, these venue picks for Zerodoom are. This is the exact scenario Zerodoom wants for those. Zerodoom says, I'm going to have an advantage in points going into these venues, and I'm going to lock it down. And this is going to basically be the the kind of prophecy here. Zerodoom has this massive lead, and basically no matter what JD does at this point, you have to get by some incredible spy wins to make a win happen.
Interesting position in conversation from JD at this point. Did not go back to the seduction target and double agent like I thought he might. Instead, we're standing here. This might be an attempt at a bug
Yeah,
position.
this would be a
That's
really nice bug position if what you do is you wrong arm here, but the bug fails. Trigger just a little bit too early. Unfortunately, not able to get that bug, and we might even be suspected for the path if Zerodoom was not completely sure about it.
It would have
The
been so
ball.
pretty too. Almost no arm on screen. We're gonna try again? No.
No, we don't try again, and I think that was wise because this time Zerodoom had a much better angle for it. We still need to finish our flirt, which we do, and now there
Under a
is a
minute to go
contact to
though.
be done. The question is, do we get shot for our contact? Because Zerodoom might
Banana
have called
bread.
this a bug now.
It is at least a green contact. A white contact there causing a double talk would be probably disastrous. But coming right in with the green at the end of your talk animation is the opposite of
This might be a
suspicious.
crash bug. Oh, it is. We
It
stutter against the
is.
wall. We stutter against the
Was it?
bar, but Zerodoom doesn't see it. 5 seconds. I don't think he's on this. JD
Was
is
not
going to
seen.
take a spy win on Terrace in the back against the wall. Absolutely needed it, and
Absolutely.
that's splitting the venue, which is fine or would be fine if you weren't down 4-0 from library, but it's absolutely necessary that you take that win right there. And Zerodoom not on the bug, kind of using that general against him. Very very hard to see that walking bug.
I have only two real regrets from that game. The first one was the bug not taking. The second one is that we did not opt to pick up the guest list at 0 seconds left and finish with 4 missions,
Oh, that's
because
that's
we
just
could have.
it's like clanking in their face at the end of the game when you're not gonna get shot. Come on.
Nah, we need that sort of message at this point, though. JD needs this morale boost. Looks like that's 6-2, yeah, so we are going to be going on to
Courtyard.
Courtyard.
And Courtyard is where this is Zerodoom's pick to lock down on Sniper. Because Courtyard, no matter what PodNoob tells you, is a historically sniper-favored venue, and it's always the same. Do you get the one hard tell by the sniper? Yes, you win. No, you don't. So,
Or the 2 fingerprints option. 2 fingerprints can almost be thought of as a hard tell on Courtyard, though. It's one of those things that you absolutely have to track as Sniper.
yeah, unfortunately, I know how much they can be kind of a hard tell, and AIs can still complete them because I'm pretty sure 2 of my Courtyard games this season had that happen to me, and I lost them because of it. But it's fine. I'm not tilted. But we'll see if the AI luck favors JD here, who kind of needs it, or if they can just get their hard tell done.
Zerodoom starting us off as Oprah/hair/red dress. The woman in red with a fast walk speed, some nice shoes, red rocks me. Looks like we're chasing the red as well, heading over to our seduction target to start off our missions.
Yeah, and a little bit of an underrated part of Oprah/Red Dress's character pick is the walking bug is quite nice. Also, a very nice microfilm animation, but that's not really relevant here for Zero
No,
Doom.
no
That
books.
mission does not exist.
The giant statue of Alan Turing is there to honor a lot of book-related activities, but no books on this venue. Ambassador standing next to us, though.
This is a
This could be a
decent
standing
angle.
bug.
Yeah, this is a decent angle for a standing bug for Zero Doom here. Unfortunately, the Ambassador does leave before we can get that happening. And JD now feels safe to rotate with the Ambassador a little bit. Let that view
Banana
slide.
bread.
Here comes a
Here's
contact,
a
letting off a
double
few low
talk.
lights.
Yeah,
Letting off,
here's the white banana.
yeah, 3 low lights and like 4 people not having real. It's a decent contact. It's not the best I've ever seen on Courtyard. I have seen perfect contacts on Courtyard before, but it's definitely not something that you'd complain about as Zero Doom going into this. Here comes our statue visit, the rote statue visit. But we're not being seen here yet. We could no. Here comes the rotation probably from JD.
There's
If we
a
just put
difficult
this down now,
fingerprint here,
though,
too.
here comes
Do
the
we
fingerprint.
even know about it to take this difficult fingerprint?
Oh no,
No, we do
don't even
not.
attempt
Not
it.
even
Zero
attempted.
Doom, not on top of it.
Instead, going back, finishing up the flirt. That's 3 missions, and the classic Courtyard question, what's the hardtail going to be? You have 1
And at
minute.
this point, I don't know if it can be bug because you're a highlight and you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. It's looking like it's gonna be a bug using the laser on the other side. Here comes the
Gonna be a
swap.
swap.
Put this back down. It's a clank. It's a clank. Zero Doom.
Clank!
Not.
Clank and run! Clank and run! But who did it? We don't know. The sniper
There's only
did not say
no.
anything.
JD needs to kind of suss this out right now. Doesn't it was not on screen directly, but there was only one character in this entire party who you could have never seen clanking in a Zero Doom, but the shot comes off on Smallman, who isn't the correct shot, and Zero Doom picks up the match point for what? 7 games of match point for Zero Doom. Could just finish this off right here.
Yikes. A little bit of that character guessing coming through. I think that was just a shot on Smallman because he was Smallman and we had no idea who clanked. Really unfortunate.
It was a very smart shot, I think, considering that you missed the clank entirely. when I said there was one character, I meant that there were two, and that's Smallman and Oprah. Smallman had a little bit of an alibi, but that would have been hard to see at the time of the clank. Oprah was the only one without any alibi at all, but it was kind of between those two, and JD takes the shot and unfortunately guesses wrong.
I like that we took a shot at all, but now JD has to climb the mountain. It's going to start here as Irish/green dress.
And unfortunately, as this is Courtyard, this could just be the last game of our set here. Zerodoom taking a dominating win over JD, but JD still can bring this back. Despite Zerodoom winning on tie, which means 8 wins it for him, JD can win lots of games in a row, just as Zerodoom has done to them.
Absolutely. You can always do back to your opponent what your opponent has done to you in Spy Party. One tool I think that might come in handy here that Courtyard is better for than a lot of venues is time ads. I would
Uh-oh.
really like to see it.
That's a wrong arm
Whoa!
bug, and it doesn't even take. Was it seen, though? Doesn't seem like it was. There's no shot. There's no
No
highlight
reaction.
coming off. No reaction from Zerodoom. So JD given a slight lease on life here, as that failed bug was not seen.
No bug, no harm, no foul, nothing happened. Let's just go to statues instead, get our statue visit over with.
Yeah, the two schools of thought on that. One is late statue visits are more suspicious than early ones. However, you're a highlight as soon as you go to statue, so it makes it harder to get that hard tell done. So, oh, here comes the swap. Oh, and it's an
Oh
animation break. It's
no.
just being it's
Swap
on
and
screen. Oh, JD, unfortunately bungling that just a little bit. The animation, the swap, then animation break is just too much. Zerodoom cannot let that go like the bug went by, and Zerodoom takes it with an overwhelming victory of 8-2.
that is the set. Good games. That is all she wrote. What a commanding performance from Zerodoom. Sweeps everywhere. Sweeps court, sweeps library.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, sweeps, quote unquote, sweeps courtyard, but we'd only had seen 2 games on it.
Well, it was only 2 games.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's all single picks except for the first 2 in tournament of position. Are we going to
right, that
be
is I forgot. Yes,
interviewing?
yes. Courtyard would have been a single pick. You're right. so definitely yes, you're right. Sweep except courtyard. My mistake. I'm just messaging the players seeing if they want to do an interview.
So was I. Good.
Okay, Zerodoom apparently does want to do is okay with doing one, so we're gonna hop over to headquarters.
All right.
All right, we will have Zerodoom in here momentarily. Perhaps JD as well. Not quite as enthusiastic about it, probably, but
Yeah, unfortunate that JD's time in the tournament of position almost ends this way. They do still have 2 more matches to play to get the auto promote if they can beat somebody in a higher division.
yeah. But unfortunately, no positions left to take anymore after 2 losses. You have to be 3-1, or you have to win, 2 wins in the first 2 rounds and then lose. But after that, to take the last spot in bronze. Hello, Zerodoom. Congratulations. And
Hey,
hey, JD.
Holy sheet cakes. Worst spy party in like 5 months.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we were kind of theorizing on what it felt like for you after you went down 4-0 on Library, kind of that momentum for Zerodoom going into Terrace. What was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, good question. The first game was slight tilting since I saw Zero call Toby back over right before the green purloin.
And that was an
Thought it looked
accidental
weird.
call.
Should have made more of a mental note of that. The rest of library was probably average for me, unfortunately. We'll be banning it from now until I die.
Yes, we
moving
had some
forward.
information saying that you did not. You thought you might ban library, and instead went with the aquarium ban. Can you explain why you flipped on that right at the 11th hour there?
Yeah, I'd actually played a handful of library yesterday and today, and sniped a handful of snipered a handful of replays, and was doing fairly solid. And looking at Zerodoom's SCL history this year, he had actually banned library a couple times, played it very rarely. So I thought there was a possibility that he wouldn't pick it if I left it unbanned.
And unfortunately, Zerodoom did take advantage of that, and did very, very well on it, as we saw going up 4-0. Zerodoom, like, we kind of theorized that your picks were very, very confident. You think, okay, I'm going to go into these last couple of venues with a lead. Can you explain your rationale behind your draft overall?
Yeah, like I've done all season, my drafts are usually just counter picks. I look at their stats from the glorious site Warning Track has up, and kind of just pick my maps based on that. There are some where it's like, well, I'm also don't want to play that, and I might not pick it. But in the case, the ones that I felt he was lacking in were ones that I just don't mind playing at all.
Right, and because you don't mind, you're willing to take advantage of that. And JD thought maybe you wouldn't. Unfortunately for JD, not the case. Zerodoom did in fact take advantage of that and went 4-0 on it, very strong. However, we did see a lot of spy wins. In fact, 4 of them on Terrace, splitting that venue. So it looked like JD might have a lease on life there.
To Rand Miller, who was asking yesterday, some just general thoughts. I think Terrace, it's at least to me, it's not a surprise to see a lot in the tournament, especially from the underrated players. I'm suspecting most of the higher rated players haven't played a whole lot of it, and so if you're already behind the 8 ball through lack of experience, then you might as well try to get the opponent out of their comfort zone and playing something they don't normally play.
Yeah, and
It's a fairly
unfortunately,
straightforward map as well, which I think benefits newer players. So
right, and unfortunately, we did not get to see your second and third picks in Tayan and a high rise. 2 more kind of very variable venues with a lot of what some would say is variance.
oh yeah,
To put it
they're
nicely.
super swingy, especially Tayan. Tayan's a crapshoot, in my opinion. Anybody's got a chance to win against
And
anybody
and,
else
and
there.
and so you thought, hey, I'm the underdog. I should pick this. If I win this, it's going to be very good for me.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Zero had banned it a couple of times this year, as well as High Rise. Um, I'd played a handful of Tayan a while back, and seemed okay. High Rise, I'm a big fan of High Rise, and thought if I could get there, I could maybe close it out, but not even remotely close.
Yeah. By the way, we were kind of discussing that Zerodoom spy game he played against you with the clank at the end after an unseen green swap. What were your thoughts, kind of like as you heard that clank? How did you decide, to go and shoot Smallman compared to anyone else?
Yeah, I think if I go back and look at my replay, I didn't do that at the end of that game. Well, I did, but not close enough. I don't ever think I saw Hare walk around because I was rotating on the opposite side, and Smallman was the closest person there in a combo circle. But if you're thinking about it in hindsight, if you're going to clank, you're not going to walk right back into that combo circle and stand right there. You're probably going to move further away. It was just a panic shot.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a fine shot, especially if you think that you've completely missed the person at statue. It's your best odds, you feel like, and that's the shot that anyone would take. Just unfortunate on the rotations, could not get that rotation in time to actually see Zerodoom at statue, and Zerodoom a little bit hasty putting that statue down to get away from that incriminating position. And anyways, I think that will do it. Thank you both for coming in and doing an interview. Congratulations to Zerodoom. We'll hope to see you continuing to win, fighting for that bronze spot, and good luck to JD in the future matches. See if you can get that auto promote out of Obsidian.
Yeah, shout out to all the casters who spend their time doing this for the rest of the community. Major kudos to you guys. Major kudos as well to whoever put together the stats site.
That's
made it a lot
yeah.
easier for me to watch 70 of Zerodoom's games over the last 3 days, although that didn't help much. And,
yes, warning track is great.
Best of luck to Zerodoom in future rounds.
Yeah, thank you guys. And once again, as JD said, thanks for the casts. As always, I will watch this back probably 2 times.
And I'll never watch it again.
Oh, I know how that feels. Watching a cast in which you've lost is not the best feeling, but I sometimes tear through that anyways, just because it can make you a better player sometimes. Thank you all for watching. We do have more casts. We'll have one tomorrow night, I believe. Hold on, let me get the time of that. Tomorrow night at 3 p.m. PDT, so 6 p.m. EDT. We'll be covering Wodar versus Jake Armstrong. It's a match that's already been played, but we'll be doing that tomorrow night. I will be your caster then with Warning Track with Yisha's host. And if you're wanting to check out more competitive Spy Party, you can go to spypartyfans.com or scl.spypartyfans.com, or check out the YouTube or any of our Twitch VODs at twitch.tv/spyparty or the Spy Party YouTube. And we've got a bunch more there to watch as well. And that does it for this cast. Thank you to the host of Bear Rar, who graciously spends time being silent and also making the stream happen. Thanks to Amelia. And
thank you, Whoopi.
I was gonna thank myself as a joke, but thanks. Anyways, that's our cast. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.